As we touched on yesterday, Senate Republicans just barely passed a $9 billion rescission package aimed at getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse that was sniffed out by DOJ earlier this year. Despite dissenting votes from Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, and Mitch McConnell, the bill will now eliminate more than $1 billion in taxpayer funding for left-wing corruption for public broadcasting, which funds NPR and PBS. This begs the question, whoever thought it was a good idea to even constitutional for taxpayers to fund state-run media? Legendary sportscaster and host of the Michele Tafoya podcast, Michele Tafoya, joining me right now. You know, now that it's gone, I think it's important to examine just how and who thought it was a good idea to have government fund media in this country in any way. How was this ever okay?
Well, it was quite a while ago, and I think that the thought was we want to make sure that people can get access to all kinds of locally programmed television and radio content. And it may have been a good idea, but over time it was very obvious it wasn't needed. And it certainly wasn't needed to be funded by taxpayers. In 2015, Sesame Street got sold off to HBO. And until 2024, HBO injected Sesame Street with a ton of new money. They ended that partnership because HBO is now focused more on adult entertainment. But you can bet that Sesame Street will find another partner to produce that show. If Sesame Street no longer needs to be funded by taxpayer dollars, neither does anything at NPR and PBS. And I would agree with you that so much of what they program is left-leaning. I can't listen to it anymore without noticing how obvious that is. And sadly, people think because it's government funded, it's right down the middle and honest, and it's not.
No. And of course, they've got a bias toward government. And who's the party of government? Big government, totalitarian government? The Democrats. Michele,
right.
I want you to take a look at this clip from yesterday's House Homeland Security Committee hearing. Speaking of which, Mike Howell, president of the Oversight Project, knew just how to respond to a Democrat Congresswoman, Yasmin Ansari, when she basically did what Democrats do, lied about him. Watch.
Mr. Howell, I know you have spent quite a lot of time talking about the importance of releasing the Epstein files, but now you're kind of parroting Trump talking points about this being a Democratic hoax. I'm wondering if yes or no.
What did I say?
Do you support the?
No, what have I parroted about it being a hoax?
It's a yes or no. Do you support?
No, it's not. You said something false. I'm asking you to cite what you said, which is clearly false, because I've not said what you said.
Mr. Howell, my question is, do you support the public release of the Epstein files?
My answer is written in an op-ed in the Blaze,
yes
which you
no?
can read.
Yes or no?
Listen, ma'am, I am trying to answer your
yes
question.
or no,
You are
Mr.
lying to the American people
I'm asking you
in your
a
misstatements. You
question.
just told a lie in this committee
Mr.
room.
Howell,
I'm trying to clear up the record.
It's very simple.
I am trying to answer if you let me speak.
Okay. Do you
I think the
support it?
public deserves way more transparency than we've got. I've written that. You've accused me of parroting another
It would be
talking point,
wonderful
which I have not. Bring the receipts. You're lying, and everybody knows it.
Wow.
Gotta
I
love
remember
it.
when Harry Reid, Michele, admitted that he lied about Mitt Romney, not paying taxes. And after his loss to Obama, Harry Reid, was called out. And on the line, he said, well, Romney didn't win, did he? I said this in the preamble. I think Americans are tired of having to accept Democrat lies that they have to tell to make their worldview palatable. Do you think America's finally fed up with this type of low-class, low-rent politician?
Look, I think they've been fed up for a while, but the left continues to make us feel like we're somehow transphobic, homophobic, xenophobic. If we question anything that they say, they don't have real arguments. I loved his response here. This is a really common tactic in these hearings. It's a yes or no question. Yes or no. Yes or no. It's a yes or no question. Many questions are yes or no questions, but most questions have a lot of nuance to them, particularly when you've set up that question with a falsehood. He called her out. I hope he just gave permission for a ton of people appearing before these committees to do the same thing.
You and I are on the same page. I said the same thing in the preamble, that this is the way, as the Mandalorian would say. You get lied about. You don't have to tolerate this stuff from the left. Michele Tafoya, always appreciate the time and analysis. Folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.